YouTube? This is Josh and Ashley from Sword Carolina coming at you with our next installment of the Duplieren 2.0 series. This week we're going to be covering the Duplieren, or the doubling, which is like awesome, and what's changed from our original video that you can find on our channel and go back and learn the basics of. What's changed? Not a whole lot, you know, it's kind of like there. It's one of those things, but there's some things that we've realized after teaching and studying and training it like for a while now that we could improve on and do a little bit better, make things a little bit cleaner. So the first thing is, if it feels weird, if it feels odd, if it doesn't quite feel right, it's not the manuscript that's wrong. You just need to do it a couple of thousand more times and then you'll be fine, okay? So when we're talking about the Duplieren, what we're actually talking about is this is a response to something that's happening in the bind, all right? We're taking this away from the manuscript says you should do this and then do this and then do this, and it's this progressive line. No. We're taking away from that and putting it more into the basic principles of what's actually happening in there, and then the Duplieren is going to be a specific response to pressure that happens in the bind. Alright, so let's talk about the pressure and what's actually happening in this bind here. What we're starting from is a very neutral bind, okay? Nobody really has the advantage. Somebody has cut in with an overhow, somebody's attended with an overhow, and we have this very center line neutral bind that's happening right here. The Duplieren is a response to hard pressure, okay? This is to where my sword is being pushed, and I'm going to do the Duplieren to overcome that. So I'm actually going to use becoming soft or weak pressure to defeat someone becoming hard and using strong pressure. Aha! You know, it's like martial arts principles. This is cool. So what's going to happen here is, from this neutral bind, my sword is going to be pushed out to the side. Okay, that's to my right hand side, their left hand side. My sword is pushed out to the side right here. What happens most of the time to where this fails is the pressure is not out to the side, the pressure is actually towards you. Right? So when somebody's pressing towards me and I try and leave that bind, the sword comes and falls down right on my face. And that's a bad thing. So that's not what we want happening here. We want the pressure is going to be out to the side, and you have to develop the fooling, right, to notice to whether the pressure is coming at you or to whether it's being pushed out to the side. So as the sword is being pushed out to the side, this is an index action. If we get, let's change that angle just a little bit. If we get, go ahead. If I get pushed out this far, right, I cannot Duplieren from here. It's gone, it's over, you missed the opportunity. If you get out this far, just go ahead and odd name and go to the other side. So this is an action that happens really in desk as soon as you feel that pressure out to the side. When that pressure happens out to the side, right, I am going to do the Duplieren. I do the Duplieren by winding to my right ox. What? Yes, no, it's actually just the action of me going from plow, winding to my right ox will produce the Duplieren. What happens when I go from plow to my right ox? I raise my hands and I basically thrust my pommel up underneath my right arm, and it produces the same action that happens that's described in the Duplieren. So this is not anything crazy or I have to figure out how to move my arms and do this and do that. Really, you could literally just go from plow to ox and produce the Duplieren if the setting is correct. All right, so I hammered that home a little bit. Let's talk about there's specific things that you can do with your arms to really make this, you know, happen and happen properly. Okay, so the first thing is the way that I'm actually moving my arms. Most people, when they're trying to do the Duplieren, right, it gets all muddied up right in here. They're kind of clacking their cross guard on it. They're getting hit in the hands as they're doing the Duplieren, something along those lines. What's actually happening there is 9 times out of 10, they're pushing their arms forward as they're doing the Duplieren. So really you have to maintain some static, little small push. You have to maintain more of a static position with your hands as you're doing the Duplieren, right? Maintaining this bind and cutting around. As opposed to, here I am, I'm pushing, right? And what's happened is you actually push past the bind and now it's kind of hitting in your hands. The next thing is, a lot of people will Duplieren and their arms will be way out to the right hand side right here. And what that creates, if you may step right there, what that actually creates when you Duplieren is it looks like you're going to get hit, like right in the middle. And even if she's putting good pressure out to the right hand side, right, it looks like you're staring right at the sword and your cross guard is way back here and there's a whole bunch of distance between there. As opposed to what should actually happen is you maintain more center line with your arms. You notice how I have them pulled not out to my right hand side, but I'm really holding them more in the middle and maintaining that center line. That's going to keep me far more protected and make it to where it doesn't look like the sword is just going to come in and hit me right in the face. So that is a rehash of the Duplieren. We're doing this action to a specific response that's happening in the bind. We're doing a wind that in its simplest form is really from plow up to ox, but I'm doing it in a cutting motion, right? I'm not doing it to where I'm back here and I'm going, I'm winding to my right ox, right? I'm doing it in this cutting motion. I'm keeping my hands center line. I'm not pushing until I've actually completed the wind, and then I need to make sure I'm in a proper range, okay? Because the Duplieren should be around the strong, around the middle part of the sword, right? So we're not going to be at this great range and I expect to do a Duplieren and something's actually going to happen there, right? So we're going to be a little bit closer range in order for this Duplieren to come in and actually land the way that it should. So hope you guys enjoyed and hope you're enjoying the series, and we'll be coming at you very soon.